computer will announce the Macintosh office. You can look into it, or you can go on with business as usual.
This is the book of Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Infinite praise, glory, and honor be unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the true teachers and leaders of all Israel. Shalom to the elect, to the house of David, those that will be delivered when the Lord Yahweh Shai returns. So what we just watched was a Super Bowl commercial from 1985. And just doing some random research, different things. You know how the Spirit be leading you in different directions sometimes and putting things together. And sometimes you go down certain rabbit holes. So, you know, the Lord had me looking into these things. And, you know, I came across this particular old commercial, which is about, at this point, yeah, I was going to say 30 years old, actually 40 years old, which is wild. Almost 40 years old. And in that, you could see the clip. All right, you had the mindless lemmings, all right, as they referred to. The name of the commercial is actually Lemmings. And I'm going to explain what a lemming is in a second. But basically, these people were marching unto their own death, marching off the cliff, which, you know, the commercial, they try to frame it as though, well, if you follow Apple, you will avoid falling off the cliff like the rest of them. But in the end of the day, the people that love this world and love their products and their technology, they're going to get that karagma. They're going to get that microchip. All right, which is going to lead to their perdition, their destruction. So what I just read was Proverbs 21:16. I read it again. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right? So what is the way of understanding? This truth. The truth of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. The name of the Heavenly Father, the name of his Son, and the doctrine that is taught in truth and sincerity by receiving those names, which was given unto our leaders, the apostles. All right, which we have the best leadership on planet Earth. Okay, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, from the apostles and elders on down. We are exceedingly blessed in all the chastisement and all of the correction and all of the spiritual ass whoopings that we receive coming up in this truth. We're seeing how important these things were, you know, even though it didn't always feel good in the flesh. At the same time, putting our pride and egos aside, especially in these last days, we can see how important it was, because now we're not in the congregation of the dead, which is these people. All right. And I want to get to what a lemming is, which is actually pretty comical when you think about it. But Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. You see? So this is the city where the Lord Yahweh Shai was crucified. How? Because he was crossed out. He was essentially and when referring to Yahweh Shai as the so-called black image of the Lord. All right. When you go around America, you don't see that true image. You see a false image. So in essence, they X'd him out. And by persecuting us, they're X'ing him out because we're members of his body. All right. But what does it say? It's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt because this is a place where all types of lewdness, as Sodom was in the surrounding cities. Sodom and Gomorrah was famous for lasciviousness, sexual lewdness, alphabet activity. Right, which America embodies that and pushes that on a global level. So imagine if Sodom and Gomorrah took over the planet. That's what you have with America, all right, under the rulership of the nation of Edom. Okay, and what does it say? And also Egypt, because Egypt is the place of our captivity. All right, but it says what? Excuse me. Their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is what? The Lord's people being spiritually dead. And what did you see in that commercial? People being blinded and blindly walking on to their death, which is what this creature, it's a small rodent called a lemming. And it's famous for a particular act that it does. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it real quick. Yeah, so when you look up a lemming, all right, is these creatures, right? And what they do is a lot of times they become so densely populated in one area, they have this instinctual thing that they do where they pretty much will spread out in mass by the thousands, right? And when they do this, they do it in a frantic fashion, right? Just like these people do, right? When they act without thinking ahead, they don't think steps ahead, they just mindlessly follow the crowd. Well, that's behaving like a lemming, all right? And these lemmings, they'll march off of cliffs, they'll go into predatory areas. They'll have basically a utter a reckless disregard for their own lives, right? It says someone who blindly follows. It says, what is a lemming? What is a lemming's behavior? Someone who blindly follows a crowd, maybe even toward catastrophe, is called a lemming. I believe I've covered this in another lesson, but hey, it's 2024. We're going to get it again because it applies even more so now. All right, because these people are getting ready to receive that chip, that mark of the beast, which is going to mark them for death. Over the past century, the myth has been invoked to express modern anxieties about how individuality could be submerged and destroyed by mass phenomena, such as political movements or consumer culture, right? And when it says here, what does it mean to be called a lemming? A person who follows the will of others, especially in a mass movement. Hey, wasn't the demic when they had everybody getting the juicy juice? Wasn't that a mass movement? And if you didn't go along with it, people looked at you like they were crazy. But a lot of them, what happened? They marched into their own death. All right. It says, and head straight into situation or circumstances that is dangerous, stupid, or destructive. See, these lemmings that eat up conspiracy theories are so blinded by lies they don't even see the cliff they're about to plummet over. You see how they flip that? It's really the people that follow that can't see these so-called conspiracy theories. Nothing is a conspiracy theory. Everything is true because the media just never lies, right? So as you can see, these people, these Americans, these Babylonians, they're perfectly summed up as a lemming, all right, as lemmings. All right. They want to identify as this, identifies that. Identify your ass as a lemming. So, hey, bear me 1 second. It's the book of Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Salaki, I just had drink some water, spring water with cayenne pepper, and it kind of loosened up I had a little bit of chest congestion. So excuse me, bear with me, Baba Kasha. I'm not gonna make this long, but yeah, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty. All right, so they can't. And who's that? Esau, Edom, and his device is what? To put a device, an implant inside the people. And if they were already, and we already know that these devices and all this shit and social media and the smartphones, like they already had that game plan. You could see it from 85 and even probably further beyond that. But you could see how they were throwing it in people's faces. Okay. And then they're acting like the one guy who gets the Apple product. Well, he's woke. You know, he was able to pull the wool off from over his eyes, so that he could see the cliff he's about to fall off of. But at the end of the day, all these people are going to fall off the cliff. The only ones that ain't going to fall off the cliff is the elect. So if anything, the guy that opened his blindfold and didn't fall off was us brothers. You know, that represented us in the spirit of it. Yeah, that's just how I'm looking at it. But at any rate, these Americans, they are going to march off that cliff and they are going to be destroyed into World War III, which is rapidly approaching. All right. So all of their craftiness, their schemes, the Lord is going to disappoint them. He's going to frustrate their plan. All right. This is the book of Job 21. Let's see. Hey, bear me 1 second. Yeah, this is Job 21 and 17. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out? And how oft cometh their destruction upon them? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua distributive sorrows in his anger. Right, so let's grab that in NLT. It says, yet the light of the wicked never seems to be extinguished. Do they ever have trouble? Does God distribute sorrows to them in anger? You see? So essentially, I kind of roll with the KJV breakdown a little better, because the NLT seems like it's asking how often does it happen, which they were at questioning when the judgment of the wicked would come, but essentially it's saying here that they are going to be destroyed. All right, because eventually, yes, their destruction has been put off and they've been able to reign, but now we're at the time where they are going to be judged. All right, but it does mention, them questioning. But I think the point of the verse is that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua distributive sorrows in his anger. So he does judge and he does destroy them. All right. So he is going to, the wicked will not go unpunished. That's the point. All right. Let's get Revelation 14 and 9. And I'm going to close this out because I'm losing my voice a little bit. So forgive me for that. But Revelation 14 and 8. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Which Babylon is America, all right? And this city's going to fall because it made all of the nations drink of the philosophy, all right? Democracy, okay? The alphabet way, all right? Abominable foods, the Baconator, all right? The McDonald's, all of that Americanization shit. Okay, spiritual Sodom and Egypt on a global level, right? Because all of the nations drank of it. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, all right, and these people, they're going to get that, all right, and that's what they're going to be marching off that cliff to their own destruction. All right, they're gonna, and that's the ultimate way of worshiping this system, which is the beast in his image, which is the Edomite supremacy system, NATO and the EU. All right. And when you receive that mark, that's your seal for death. That blindfold is staying on and it ain't coming off. And that's what's going to happen to the masses of people. And I want to grab this real quick. Hey, bear with me. I'm going to just take a sip of water. This is Exodus 23 and 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Right. So that's what these people do. They want to follow a multitude to do evil. All right. And they want to halt judgment from being brought forth. Okay, that's why all these people, they follow mass movements. You got people still wearing the mask to this day. All right, and it says, the Revelation 14 and 10. So for those this is their judgment, those that march off that cliff, that go with the mass movement. Oh my, I gotta eat. My kids gotta eat. What about my mama? What about my grandma? You ain't feeding us. You want to tell me not to take no chip, but you don't give a fuck about us, man. I got to look out for me and mine. All right. So you go ahead, man. See, the Lord been putting it in my head recently about all these people and the sorry ass excuses they all going to have soon, man. All the sorry ass. Well, I'm sorry, man. I wish I should have listened, man. All that, save all that shit, man. All right. Save your breath, because you ain't got a lot of breath left in you for the most of you people. Revelation 14 and 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, right? So you're going to drink that cup with no chaser. All right, that straight cup, you know. Okay, and that's that thermonuclear fire. All right, Yahweh Shai coming back with the heavenly hosts, all out pandemonium, and this kingdom is going to be obliterated. It will never rise again. Edomites will never rule again, and they will be slaves until they're put out. All right. So that's the Lamb coming back. All right. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So this is the judgment of those that receive that mark. All right. That follow that multitude, that want to be a mindless lemming. See, Americans are the most mindless people on earth, man. These people are beyond mindless. All right. They're beyond foolish. Stupidity isn't even a word. You got to think of a new word to describe how dumb these people are, man. All right. A lemming probably has more wisdom than these stupid fucking idiots, man. All right. Here's the patience of the saint. And I wouldn't, through the spirit, I'm going to say this too. You brothers out there that be driving a lot, be careful, because these people are losing their minds on the road, man. And I believe Apostle Rakal, if I'm not mistaken, I was watching his lesson earlier. He had mentioned some crazy Eve. These people, their head is all over the fucking place, man. So we got to just be mindful. Just be careful out there. Put up some prayers before and after you on the road, man. Before you go out there, pray the Lord bring you out in one piece and bring you back in one piece, and thank the Lord when he does. All right, because these people are going to be losing it more and more, man. This is, yeah, this is it, man. The walls are closing in. It ain't, oh, man, another 10 years. Nah, it's happening now. All right, call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, but what does it say? Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. You see, let's grab that in the NLT. I want to see. I don't know if I ever read that in the NLT. Yeah, Revelation 14 and 12. Yeah, this means that God's holy people must endure persecution patiently, obeying his commands and maintaining their faith in Yahweh Shai. Right, because this hour of temptation is coming where everybody will be forced. All right, they're going to force the inhabitants of the earth to take this, to bow down, all right, to comply, to obey their edicts, okay, their unlawful, unjust laws that they're going to come with. And they already got it all in the books, man. They just got to let loose, all right? So let this devil show his horns, and the Lord's going to raise a standard, and the elect will be protected in that day, like a covert from the tempest, all right? And we're seeing more and more, man, every single day, every second and every hour that goes by, we're seeing how much of a blessed position we're truly in, and how blessed we are to be serving the Lord in times like this, man. So call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. I'm going to give infinite praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. A Shalom Barakathum unto the hopeful elect. I'll catch you on the next one. Shalom.